Hello, welcome to the new studio and the new ideas that I've been holding on to while I've been getting the studio ready. And the idea is based on shadows and light and creating a landscape inside the studio and then interlaying it with landscapes from the outside as well, what I've observed from the outside, which will become more clear as I progress. Because yes, it does sound a little bit confusing, but I'm creating controlling the light in the studio to create a landscape inside. Of course, you don't have to stay to reality. Just have fun and produce. Just let your mind, imagination, sort of go with it, and then it's interesting to put like a real sky into it, and as you progress, and it lends itself to lots of ideas which will come across in the next few weeks. Okay, this painting is now finished. And when you it's hard to know what a person's first impression of this would be because I've been working on it. But when I've been away from the studio and then come back, say the day after, I'm really happy with it, and that's when you know you've done a good job. So basically, yeah, I'm really excited about this, really, because it's not like anything I've done before, but it is connected, especially with the style of painting. So this is the inside landscape I constructed out of paper on the desk over here using lights. So I'm using the same technique I would do with plein air painting, observing the lights and shadows and tones and composition and feeling, but I've not thought about each process too much because I wanted it to be spontaneous. I just wanted it to happen, and that's what's happened, really. I've not done lots of drawings and figured out how the trees will be in the scales. I've just gone into it and just started drawing and cutting out, and just what's ever in my mind has happened. So that's, and even when I constructed it on the table, I just thought I'd do this and look at that, and then because it has a surreal feel about it, and the surrealists that's what they did, automatic drawing and writing, and just to see what's in their subconscious, and then once you've done that, you figure out what does that mean, and it's just come out of that part of the mind. And even when I put the second stage onto the painting, which is use my plein air paintings, I've swapped things around, I turned it around, and they're not all off one painting, and some of them aren't in the paintings, and I didn't think about that too much either. I didn't want to do any preliminary drawings first or any studies. I just went straight on there. So it could have easily gone wrong, but what is going wrong? You know, I loved it how, you know, you got this sky, so you disappear into this landscape, and then you come back to the interior landscape, and you come back out again and in again, weaving. And I was thinking, what does that say about what I was thinking? And I was thinking maybe, especially during lockdown, when you was only allowed to go out for like 30 minutes, 1 minute you're inside and then you're outside and you're seeing this spectacular views, or you're just outside really looking at the sky, you know, and then you're back inside landscape. And when I look back at things I've done years ago, or ideas, I always had this idea of creating a landscape inside. You know, it's like when you were a kid and you make mountains and dens out of, you know, your duvets, and or you get the clothes horse and put, you know, you got sheets over it and you make dens and things like that. I think we've always done that, but it's always stayed with me. It didn't go away. So and I put this onto the second painting. I've done another painting, and there's another third on the way, which I'm constructing at the moment. And I think this is, I just swooped it down, and it's almost like, you know, so it's connecting you, because it goes in front of there and behind, and this one goes in front, behind, and it's sort of saying it's connected. And you know, you can get that feeling of being outside, you know, by creating, you know, we want to create that feeling of being outside even though we're inside. So it sounds incredibly complicated, but you're feeling sort all that out, and it makes it very simple. And and I do, what I usually do is I turn up the colours and the fabrics of the paint, the colours in the fabric and the cotton and the paper. There's shadows of purple and blues, and going towards, you know, darker areas as it goes further back. This is the shadow that the trees created. So it was interesting. The very first painting is very interesting, and it's worked out. I'm very happy with it. I've just completed the second one, and the third one I've even taken it even further. So it's very interesting to see how far you can take it. It's pretty much endless. So I'm going to really work on this now. You know, this idea, the landscape that I've created inside out of paper, cutting it out, I've left it white because I do like the contrast against the shadows, but also I think I have a feeling that my creativity comes from a place, and I've always tried to give it names, but never managed to do it. So I call it the place with no name, and it's usually white, like a wilderness or a landscape. And I've tried painting it over the years, but never managed to achieve it. So this is the first time I managed to do that. You could call it, you know, the subconscious or somewhere else, but it is like exploring an unknown land. And I shall continue to explore it with further paintings, take it to, you know, to its edge, or beyond. There's no limitations. That's a good thing about art.